I was hanging with you, and then I realized I didn't think it was true. I was surprised.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today, it's the 1st of March. So you know what that means. Another favorites video. So this is going to be my February favorites, where I talk about my favorite and least favorite things of the month of February. So if you guys don't know the format of this video, I choose 3 of my most favorite things and my 3 least favorite things of the month of February, and I post a video talking about them. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the February favorites of the month and the least favorites of the month. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get on with the video. Alright, so let's get started with the favorite of the month. Let's start off with a food item. And I have these. These are called Shelly Zenby rice crackers. And they're in the teriyaki flavor. If you can see, teriyaki. These are so good. I've actually had these kind of rice crackers before, but they were strawberry flavor because I went on a trip a while back where I got like a Hello Kitty like Japanese food box, and it came with the same kind of rice crackers, the same brand and everything of those rice crackers, but they were strawberry flavor, and they were so good. They were nice and sweet, but they weren't like unhealthy. And I got these in the teriyaki flavor. I was afraid they were going to be like super like powerful teriyaki, but they're not that powerful teriyaki, which I was happy about because I'm not the biggest fan of like really like bold teriyaki flavors. But these still have a nice little sweet taste to them. Let me show you like an individual pack. This is what they look like. If you can see like the sides in there on the one side of the rice cracker, they have little like white sprinkles on them, or some kind of like cream something with those little like puffs from the rice. The bag's being really annoying. There we go. So yeah, I really enjoy those rice crackers. They're nice and crunchy, and they come in so many, and you can eat them all. Like, those are really dangerous for me because like I have to keep myself from eating the entire pack, but I still have some left, which I'm really happy about, so I'll probably get to eating those once in a while. So yeah. Oh, before we get started with the least favorite, I want to show you guys my nails. I did a pastel moment for the month of March because we're getting close to Easter. Easter is next month. Oh, and I also noticed that this one is chipped, which sucks. So yeah, I really like these nails. They're very pastel, very my style. Alright, now let's go on to a least favorite item. So let me ask you a question. When you hear the word lip tint, for anyone who knows about makeup and stuff like that, if you hear the word lip tint, what do you think of? Like a nice light flush of color, like nothing too pigmented where it like looks like an actual lipstick, because I try to keep away from actual lipsticks because either I don't really know my shade or just it doesn't really look good on me in my personal opinion. That's why I like to stick to glosses and stuff like that. That's why you see in my videos like I always wear a lip gloss and stuff like that. So like when I think of lip tint, I think of like a nice light flash of a color, nothing too crazy. But this is what I learned about false advertising. So I have this. This is the Miniso brand Velvet Matte Lip Tint in the shade Diva Red 05. And I saw, because I went with the same thing with the false advertising for me because, like, it's super pigmented, as you can see, and it's like really like it makes you look like my mom and my sister have told me, like, I look like I just ate a popsicle after I put on that lipstick, even after I blotted a bunch of times to try to diffuse the color. So what I'm holding is an example. What I think a lip tint is, this is the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Stick in the shade Work. And let me swatch it for you. Like, this is what it looks like, and even when you blend it out, like, see, when you blend this out, it's like still super pigmented. With this, when you blend it out, it's light. You see, it stains a lot. So yeah, let me just. Now, while I'm cleaning this up, let me talk about a favorite. I'm just using some Garnier Micellar water. So, a favorite of mine that isn't like a physical item but a TV show. Like last favorites video I talked about in January, how I really like Murder, She Wrote. And I've been looking at a bunch of TV shows that I haven't watched before, but I've been seeing a bunch of people talk about them. And this one, it's not a new show by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a show that I've never seen before, that's new to me, in the sense that I haven't watched it before, or barely watched it to the point where I can't really get into the story. And that show I'm talking about is Sailor Moon. So, if you guys are anime fans, you guys know that Sailor Moon is a very iconic anime. It is the epitome and probably the, like, cornerstone of magical girl animes. And, like, a lot of people know about Sailor Moon. Even people who don't really watch anime know who Sailor Moon is. Because she is just that iconic. And also, see, like, moving away, it's so, like, it dyes your hand red too. So yeah, I've been watching Sailor Moon for the past couple of weeks. Like, in the middle of February, I started watching Sailor Moon because, like, I always watch Sailor Moon, but I barely get into the seasons, and I don't really get into it as good as I should, or I don't really get into the story as good if I keep going through the series. But I have Hulu, and with Hulu you get Sailor Moon. I was watching Sailor Moon before I got Hulu because there's a place called Viz Media, which is where Viz, like, created the new voice dubbing for Sailor Moon. And I really like it. Sailor Moon has always been one of my, like, iconic shows, even though I haven't barely watched it. I'm getting really into it. I'm on Sailor Moon R, which is basically the second season of Sailor Moon right now. I barely started watching it, but I binge watched it so much that I made it through almost, like, I'm thinking I'm at least like a quarter way through the second season. And I'm so excited. Like, I really like it. I really enjoy it. It's a fun show. I've always enjoyed Sailor Moon, but I've never really, like, gotten into the show fully. But now that I'm getting really into the show, I'm really happy that I did. Alright, so now let's talk about a one big ball of misery that the state of California has put on me. And I know California is like the agricultural like land point of the world, but just like get allergies, let's like hold it for like 1 second of the entire month because I'm just trying to enjoy the winter before it goes away and I have to deal with pollen and allergies. I may take my loratadine, which is basically Claritin, but it's just like I don't want to deal with like allergies. And the same thing with fall too. Like fall, summer, and spring are all just like not really fun like places for me because obviously spring allergies, summer it's super hot, and fall allergies again because of all the dust. So yeah. Alright, so now time for my final favorite thing. So if you guys watched my big Christmas haul video, or not the candy ones, but the regular haul videos, the regular like Christmas haul, I talked about how I got a wax melter where you can melt like candle wax and stuff like that. It usually is for these things called wax blocks, but I usually use just like leftover candle wax that I took out of my candle. But now I got some wax blocks. This one, I got these both from Target. This one is called eucalyptus leaf. I am in love with eucalyptus lately. Eucalyptus is so like soothing and like super natural without making it super woody. Like pine is okay, but it's just like it's crazy strong, and I love this. It is strong, but it is not super like crazy strong. And then I have this one. It's called Rain Lily. I haven't used these ones yet. I've used 2 of the eucalyptus ones, but I haven't used any of the Rain Lily. I plan to use that soon, but I love these. This one smells super florally, like obviously Rain Lily, but it smells floral and sweet and spring and stuff like that. Like I like the spring smells and the flower stuff, but just like flowers in general, just like make like bees and pollen and stuff like that. It's not a good mix for me, but I at least get to smell it without having to deal with the allergies, which is good. Alright, now time for the last and final thing. Time for a little bit of a rant corner. So, in the month of February, we always have this big thing called the Super Bowl. Yeah. So, time for my rant about the Super Bowl. My least favorite thing of the month. So, during a pandemic, people should know better than to not hold super duper large events. I understand people always say, oh, there were cutouts, there was more cutouts than there were people, but still, there were actual people there, and there were actual people outside the stadium watching it too. So, I don't even know how many people were outside the stadium having tailgate parties, drinking, not wearing a mask, not being safe at all. Especially it's in Florida, which is where I like one of the least safest place to be in America when it comes to COVID, especially the world. Like this is just my opinion and all the stuff. It was also for the healthcare workers that were fully vaccinated. Just let them in. Don't let the people that aren't vaccinated and aren't safe and let them stay home or not invite them to a place where they can get sick and stuff like that. Like, let the people who are safe and actually vaccinated, the healthcare workers, let them in. They're fine. But actual people who aren't vaccinated, who aren't safe, who most likely will not be safe, don't let them in. Like, I only want people who are safe at events. And just like overall wild, like sports events have been perfectly fine without any people at all. But now all of a sudden people want to have fans there. All of a sudden. Like baseball, basketball has done it. Like football shouldn't be any exception. Like I understand now, like people are starting to have fans there, which I find is stupid. Like no fans should be there. People shouldn't be at events making people unsafe. As for a person who has COVID, I understand